Welcome to Table Talk, where there's always room at the table. I am your host, Jonathan Harmon of the J. Harmon Home Team, and we can't wait to talk to these fine guests. Enjoy the show. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's Jonathan Harmon of the J. Harmon Home Team, powered by Keller Williams. And we are here with Table Talk, and I've got two awesome guests this morning. I've got Dr. Jill Austin and Dr. Andrea Dawson over here. And we're going to talk about something really cool that has come to the Murfreesboro area that you guys have put out there for the community. It's one of those things when. So sorry, I jumped ahead. I was caught up in my head, but not everybody else is. So it's the Dow Street Community Music School, and basically, in a nutshell, you guys are there to provide music instruction, regardless of accessibility, right? So, need-based scholarships, those kinds of things, because you believe that music instruction
should be available to everybody, regardless of age. We've got adults and children, and regardless of ability to pay or anything. We just believe that music helps everybody thrive.
and I love that. I feel like Rutherford County in general, public schools have not eliminated arts programs to the extent that other places have. It's still some in schools, but perhaps for one reason or another, getting a kid back and forth to school, picking them up late, having an instrument at home, whatever. There's all kinds of different reasons, and for all kinds of reasons, not everybody gets to participate in those. So this is one more opportunity, one more place that folks can come and gain that instruction, and maybe it's even a little less pressure than having a class for it.
Well, the other part of that is that, if you participate in band or choir or orchestra at school, having the private lessons outside of that help you really do a better job when you get to school.
For
So
sure.
that supports the school programs as well. Yeah, also, our in this area in Rutherford County, we have very few string programs in the schools, and we'd love to see that change. So students, everybody picks instruments based on the kind of their personality and their style or their preference, and so students that would like to do strings, that would thrive better in orchestra than in band or choir, which have a different kind of feel to them, don't always have access to that unless they go to Central Magnet, and so we offer string instruction, for those students, and we offer other instruments as well, which we can get to later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, it's a you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? You remember that '80s hair
Yeah,
band
I do.
song? Yeah, it was a great song.
Yeah.
And it's as the programs get eliminated from different places or limited, like you were talking about with the
Mhm.
strings programs, um, you don't really realize what you miss
Mhm.
and the ripple, right? The repercussions into math, into
Mhm.
business, which is what Dr. Austin teaches at MTSU, into all of these other things. That music instruction develops a portion of the brain
Yeah.
that doesn't develop through math and science
Mhm.
instruction. That
Right.
doesn't develop through reading the newspaper from a business perspective. I mean, it's a totally different section of the brain.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that, the Einstein played the violin, and he always credited a lot of his creative ideas with having that background.
Yeah.
So if Einstein did it, I feel
It's a pretty
it's a
good
pretty
reason
good,
not to I mean, not
not
to, but it's a
not
pretty good reason to do it. Yeah,
right.
not to eliminate is
Yeah.
what I was trying to get
There's
at.
all kinds of studies that say that that studying music for children increases their cognitive abilities like very quickly.
Mhm.
And so I think that there's this push for people to focus on things that will only be for your career, but, I think that, having a broad range of experiences as a child really develops more creative, more thinking, um, more adaptable people.
The adaptability thing is huge. So, creative expression and my goodness, as it seems like, and I know some of it is just the 24-hour news cycle. I understand that,
Mhm.
but it seems like we don't have as much opportunity for people to just express themselves in a productive, constructive
Mhm.
manner, and so giving a kid or an adult
Mhm.
some kind of outlet where they can, even if they're not very good, then go hammer,
Mhm.
saw away on that on the violin, or
Mhm.
strum away on the guitar just to clear their mind for a minute.
Yeah, and that, I mean, the other part of that I was thinking is, nowadays the scrolling, if something lasts more than 5 seconds, you've lost us, but,
Yeah,
to play an instrument, it develops that focus for an extended period of time, and I think that's just so important. I think it helps our mental health, and I think it helps, everything, um, just balance us in a
yeah,
lot of
I
And
ways.
agree.
also good for team building skills, building self-confidence,
Sure.
resilience, those kinds of things as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Safe failing,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, I think, that's something that all of us kinda need to experience, is
Mhm.
is not being good at something
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
occasionally, 'cause
Yeah.
as I told you guys off camera, I attempted music lessons, and I was an utter and complete disastrous failure on that.
And you know what? We welcome that.
Yeah, well, you would welcome me with open arms then, because it was when I'd say it was bad, it was bad.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty realistic. Like, I'll tell you if I'm good at something, I'll tell you I'm good at something. I'm not good at it. I have no rhythm. So when I picked my instrument, it was the radio.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Yes, yes, for sure. All right, so let's pause for 1 second. We're going to hear from the guy that helps bring this and help spread the positive in the community, Mr. Brian Nail over at Premise Mortgage.
Hey, my name is Brian Nail. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Bank Mortgage. I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission. It helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's truly a pleasure to be part of. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com.
Premise Mortgage is a subsidiary of Premise Bank, a member FDIC, equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Premise Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
In Rutherford County. All right, so let's do this real quick. Let's talk about you guys and who you were before Dow Street, and then we'll go back into that. So, both of you guys are professors at MTSU. Been there for a little while. Yes.
Yep.
So Dr. Austin and I were talking, Dr. Jill Austin, and you and I interacted a I won't say how long ago,
A
because
while ago.
a
A
while
while ago.
ago, yes, when I now, in all fairness, I was a student for, forever. So I almost had 10-year, as a student, like 10 years.
Mhm.
It was pretty bad, but anyway, that almost as bad as that joke. So Dr. Austin, what do you do at MTSU, and what's your connection back to Dow Street?
Okay. I'm a faculty member in the management department. I teach courses in ethics and leadership and decision making. I've been there for 38 years, quite a long time,
See,
and
I wasn't gonna tell anybody that.
well, might as well. So it's out there now. So, but I was a department chair there for a long time, and now I'm a full time faculty member there. For Dow Street, I'm the board president of the nonprofit board, and so I've helped do a lot of the organizing for the organization, setting up policies and organizing how the lessons are set up and those kinds of things.
And it is a 501(c)(3),
Yes.
nonprofit.
Yes.
And I will say that she volunteers for this organization, and she's working somewhere between 20 and 30 hours a week, just doing that on top of her normal work, so she's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty awesome. I remember that
Mhm.
from an undisclosed number of years ago. Um, okay, so Dr. Dawson, and what about you?
Yeah. So I'm the professor of violin and viola at MTSU. I've been here for, I should know, I think it's 16 years or something, not as long as Jill has, but um and before that I was teaching at a university down in South Texas, and I perform violin in a lot of different venues. I've played since I was 5 years old, so
Oh, wow.
my parents invested a lot of time time, especially in money in my development, and, um, just, would love to see other kids have access to that kind of thing because it, changed me and made me who I am today. It gave me so much courage and, confidence to do things like talk on the on the podcast, um, and I think that I just wanna see our kids, like, be able to have that kind of confidence, and, so it just meant a lot to me to, make this happen.
So tell me about the birth of this organization. How long ago did y'all start kind of planning it out, and how did it? How did it?
Yeah.
What's the origin story? Right.
Yeah.
So we started about a year and a half ago the actual planning for this building, and we renovated a building. The building has a performance hall in it that seats about 80 people.
Wow.
Well,
It has 8 teaching
it's a small
rooms.
performance
But it seats
room,
about
yeah,
80 people, but we can
yeah,
have recitals
yeah,
and
Yeah.
things
I mean,
there.
that's not
mhm,
nothing.
And
yeah,
so there was a lot of planning going on to determine, how to set up the building, and a lot of renovation involved. But many, many years ago, I think this was Andrea's sort of dream to do.
yeah, it's just something I think that the community needs. We have some other music instruction in the area, but not like a sort of a community music school per se.
Hmm.
Um, uh, and there's some, we are collaborating with like ethos ensembles that are in the area too. But everybody offers a slightly different side of the coin, and I think that our side is something that's needed.
Well, and one of the things, and we briefly mentioned this a bit ago, you have need based scholarships. So
Yes,
you want kids and adults alike to have access, regardless of their current situation.
that's right.
So how does that work? I mean, obviously you've got students that have the ability to pay, and you have students that don't have the ability to pay. I'm assuming students that have the ability to have instruments and students that don't have the ability to have
Right.
instruments.
Yeah.
So where does y'all's funding come from? What is the how do you stay afloat with all that?
Yeah. So for scholarships, there's an application form, and we have on our website for people who are interested to contact us, and we'll get that information to them. They have to give us financial information, and they're need based, and so you have to fit certain financial criteria to be eligible for those.
Hmm.
The scholarships are partial scholarships. Some are funded half, some three-fourths, that sort of thing. We want the families to have some buy-in, and so everybody pays something.
Hmm.
And so there's a little bit of a sliding scale in terms of what people pay based on what their incomes are.
Sure.
Some people pay full price. A full price 30-minute lesson is $34. Um,
So it's not crazy expensive
no,
anyway. Mm.
and basically what we try to do is give most of that money to our instructors, because we also believe that people ought to be able to make a good living teaching music and in music as a profession, and so we want to make sure that our teachers are paid well. And so most of that money goes to the teacher. So we need enough to keep the electricity on and those kinds of
Pay the
things.
rent.
We're
Mhm.
hoping for donations. We would love to have some business sponsors, some donations from the community, and so we're new, and so we're just getting started. So we'll be looking for that and grants in the future as well.
Gotcha. Now, is there do you have a website or something where somebody, if they wanted to contribute, they could sign up on the website or?
Yes, if you go to dowstreetmusic.org,
Mhm.
there's a donate button there, and you can donate, and that would be wonderful. There also is a lot of information there about why music is important. There's information about our instructors there, information about Andrea and the founding of the school. There's before and after renovation photos that are
Cool.
kind of interesting to look at. So there's a lot of information on the website. We also have a Facebook page. If you just go to Dow Street Music, you'll find us there, and there's also an Instagram page.
Awesome, awesome. So, Jill just brought this up. What are so you said there's a lot of information about benefits of music and that kind of thing. So can you give us some high points on that?
Sure, I have a cheat sheet because I don't think on my feet very well, but,
That's okay.
So a list of some of what music teaches: teamwork skills. We talked about that before. Confidence. Talked about that. Resilience, creativity, problem solving, perseverance, focus, nonverbal communication, receiving constructive feedback,
Mm.
dedication, accountability. I feel like those are all just such rich experiences for children that they may not get in quite the same way at school.
Yeah, I mean, that's not typical classroom instruction type stuff, right? And,
Right.
in business world, we call a lot of that soft skills,
Soft skills,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, that's very cool. All right, so y'all opened the doors in March, and currently you gave me a list before of what all are you guys offering instruction in?
Yeah. So currently we're offering uh music lessons, half hour, 45 and 60 minutes. Um and in violin, viola, cello, we have a bass teacher, no students quite yet. We offer piano, voice, guitar, we have flute, bassoon,
Yes, bassoon.
we can potentially some other instruments. There's some instruments that we're kind of backing off from offering right now because they're loud and our soundproofing isn't perfect. So
Mhm.
we don't currently have brass
Drum kits.
drum, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so we're
Right.
having to waffle on those a little bit, but maybe in the future we'll have the ability, soundproofing of some kind to be able to offer that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very cool. All right. So what do you guys have coming up as far as any kind of events, any kind of fundraisers or recitals or anything along those lines?
We have two things coming up. We have a summer camp that'll start on the 24th of July, the 24th through the 28th. It's a beginner string camp
Nice.
for kids, primarily 5 to 8.
But
Um,
we've extended the age a little
a
bit.
little
So
bit.
yeah.
And so we're providing an instrument for students to use. I mean, one of the things I think that's difficult for parents getting kids involved in instruments like violin is they don't have one.
Yeah.
Guitars, keyboards are fairly easily accessible. And how do I get a violin and what do I do? Well, this by coming to a camp, you can have a violin and you can look at it, use it, play it, and your child gets a little bit of a sense of whether it's something that they're going to enjoy and be interested in
Right,
learning.
and it's not high risk because if you go off and you rent an instrument, you have to sign a contract and, that's
Hmm.
a big deal, but
Yeah.
here it's like you can just borrow it for the week at the camp and, the kid gets a chance to try it, and if they love it, they keep taking lessons, and if they wanna try something else, then there's no.
Well, and here's the other thing that I've run into. So, I had my kid wanted to learn a little bit about like get a telescope, right?
Mhm,
Well, you can buy a cheap telescope,
mhm,
but the cheap telescope will actually hurt their
mhm.
interest because it's
Sure.
so frustrating to try to
Mhm.
use. So you
Right.
can probably buy a cheap violin.
Oh, yeah. We
Um,
call them VOSs, sorry, what are they called? Violin-shaped object, VSOs,
yeah,
yeah.
and and that's fine, but it might actually hurt
Yeah,
their progress and
Yeah.
hurt their willingness to
Yeah.
keep going. So
Yeah.
there is a risk involved, especially in as you get into cellos and good gracious, a bass for oh
Mhm.
my word.
yeah.
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 Right now we have a good collection of, smaller sized violins. Um We don't have other instruments quite yet, but it's on
Mhm.
we'd like to.
Sure.
Those are more expensive, but we got some, donated to us, so that's why we can offer the violins
That's awesome.
right now, yeah.
And we'll also do that same program in the fall. We don't have the dates yet, but we're looking at offering violin for a month with 2 lessons a
2
week.
lessons a week for 4 weeks. We tried to offer group lessons, for 2 months, and I think people just thought it was too much of a commitment, and so if we thought maybe a month would work better, so
Mhm.
the it's important for the kids to do it more than once a week because 'cause they'll just they're not when they're beginning, they don't really know how to practice, so having that reminder more often is
Mhm.
important, and, so we'd love to encourage people to sign up for that, but, we can only make the group lessons happen if they have enough students in them, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I ran into on guitar. I took it
Yeah.
once a week and
Mhm.
and I would go home and I would try to play and I'd just get frustrated because I
Mhm.
couldn't make my fingers go.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
fat fingers. I couldn't get them to
Mhm.
to go to the right string.
Mhm.
And so then I just wouldn't, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
anyway,
our hope is that if they take this for a month and then they'll either be like, "No, I wanna, play the piano or whatever," that's fine. But if they love it, then they'll go and have the private lessons, which are the one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or if they like the group lessons, we can offer like a second month of it too. So
Gotcha. Well, shout out to my guy Jeff out there. You tried, dude. It wasn't you, it was me. So
So, so one other thing we have going on is we're planning to have an open house and a registration weekend,
awesome.
and that's August 12th and 13th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. We'll be there from 2 to 4. We'll also have kind of a thank you to all the people that have helped us make this music school happen on Sunday afternoon at 3 for about 15 minutes during that open house registration.
Very good. Very good. And okay, so tell us your location again.
We're at 1272 Dow Street.
Okay. And for those of you familiar with Murfreesboro, it's right off of Highland, back in that kind of former kind of medical park that was
Correct.
adjacent to the Murfreesboro Medical Clinic,
That's
not the
right.
hospital, but on down
Yeah.
where the police station is now, kind of
Correct.
behind there.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, very good. Okay. When are your lessons normally? So when would somebody need to get kids there or be there themselves?
So we schedule it we try to clump it so that we can get the lessons kind of in a scheduled together for
Sure.
the teachers and everything. But I mean, mostly people are available between 3 and 6 on weekdays or on the weekends some too. But if we have homeschooled kids, we welcome that. We could do some lessons during the day.
Hmm.
It just kind of it depends on when the teacher is available and when all the students can kind of come in a similar time.
And
So
what happens is that when a parent contacts me, they talk to me about what they're interested in, what type of instrument, what days and times work best for them, and then I take all that information and put it together into a schedule. Picking a teacher that works for them based on the conversation that we've had, and then scheduling based on when the teacher's available.
And so so far up to this point, with our short semester and then the summer, we've been doing Tuesday through was it Tuesday through Friday and some Saturday? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Very good.
Yeah.
And again, only been open since March.
Yeah.
Only been doing this since March. So not bad to have that getting going. All right. Well, y'all, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget the open house. What are the dates on that again?
It's April the 12th and 13th.
August the 12th and 13th.
I mean, I apologize.
Yes.
I
Just
have
making
lost it.
sure.
Yes, August 12th
August
and 13th.
12th and 13th. It's a
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday. And it's 1217.
1272.
1272. Oh, darn it. I was close. 1272 Dow Street, right off of Highland. Dow Street Community Music School.
Mhm.
And what's the website one more time?
It's dowstreetmusic.org. If you want to send an email, it's info@dowstreetmusic.org.
There you go. Very good. Thank you guys for being here. Looking forward to catching a recital or something. I think
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Oh, and one thing we didn't talk about, and I'm gonna just throw this out there real quick: adult amateur orchestra that you
Oh, yeah.
manage as well.
I run with Susan Mullen. We run the Lionheart Chamber Orchestra. We just have a good time, a variety of levels. I play in it, and we've got some people that used to be in youth orchestras when they were young, but now they do other careers. We've got a few music teachers, and then just some people that play music because they love it. They play in their church or whatever, and so we just get together every week, and we have a concert at the end of the semester, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool. When's the next concert?
Oh, we haven't scheduled it yet, but it'll
It'll
probably
be
be
in
in
December.
probably November. Yeah.
November.
All right. Be on the lookout. We'll keep
Yeah.
you posted.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all and appreciate what you're doing here in our community. And if you have a desire to learn an instrument, it's right here. It's easy to sign up and go get started. So thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Have a great week.